We're here at the Technical Institute, and we're going to do some walkthroughs of the 3 different spots. And most importantly, with like technical publications, we know they kind of start the process. You guys do owner's manuals, you do installation manuals for both aftermarket and even OEMs, right? But then you're also responsible for the more critical documents like TSBs and recalls. So maybe walk us through like some of those documents. I know you got some examples here.
Yeah, let's look at an aftermarket document to start with. And here we have the Odyssey portable grill. And so that was just one product that it comes from a third party. We don't manufacture that product itself, but we do. It's branded Lippert, and we
still need a
distributor for it.
Yeah, and teach people how to use it.
Correct.
And all the ins and outs of the details. Yeah,
we still need a document for it. So, and then you can see here's the 3 different grills you can get. There's yellow, red, and green.
Yep.
All right.
So you're calling out all the part numbers even.
Correct. And then if someone sees this document, they can click on this.
Oh, like in an online version, yes.
Yeah, and it'll go to the store and they can purchase it right there.
Awesome. And is that the same for like replaceable parts within those manuals? If there's, like if I wanted to replace a part of that grill, do you guys also call that out in the manuals and do the same thing where I can like link to this?
If there are replaceable parts, they usually be on the second page.
Awesome.
And you can go to the replaceable parts. You can see what is replaceable and what you can't replace. And so from there, it's the same thing. If you can buy it at the store, it will have a link and you can go directly to the store to get that.
There's some high level drawings that you guys have in there of parts, pieces, or even maybe a whole system. Maybe let's talk about that just a little bit. Those drawings come from engineering. Do they come to you beautified like that?
There are things that we have to do over here. We can make it move, hook things together, and they have a lot of that already hooked up, so it has the motion that you can do with it, but sometimes we need to adjust that a little bit for us. So,
and that's great because we do, I mean, obviously through this this piece that we're creating here, we plan to talk with Dan Saha from the training team, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the virtual productions team, and we all use all your content, right? So all this starts in the technical publications group. You guys are really like the source of truth for our training programs and our video scripts, right? Everything we do really starts with the stuff that you guys chase down, find, and start to create even with the model.
Correct, and then that also helps the call center.
Yeah.
It helps salespeople. It helps everybody is on the same page. Everybody is talking the same language.
Yep.
Okay, for that document.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense.
So right now we have, speaking about the renders, we have, we are creating a library in our system to put these renders in, because most of the time the writers create these renders from the models. And so every writer might have a library of their own. We're consolidating all of that, and it'll be used then available for your team, would be available for Dan's team.
Wonderful.
So there are about 15,000 renders that we have done so far that are available, and then we'll keep doing that. So you pull a render from the model.
Yep.
You get the model, you get it to move the way you want it to move, and then you do a still of that shot, and that's what we use for renders.
Well, before we move on to the other sections of this tour, just in general, how many live documents do you guys have on our website right now?
Oh, it's like hitting a moving target every day. There's approximately 4,200 documents out there right now. So we average about 150, 200 to 200,000 website hits looking for documents every month. Okay, so we get over 2 million.
So we know people are seeking some information, product guidance, how to use it, all the things you guys are creating, plus what we're creating from a video standpoint. Like if that traffic is there, we know that traffic is there. So
correct. Our goal would be to eliminate calls to the care center and let someone go about their job without having to reach out to somebody.
Yep.
If we can supply the information and they can fix it, or if they can buy a new part from that information, then that saves everybody, saves them time, saves us time.
Keeps people camping, right? Yep, keeps people camping. Awesome, well, thanks for the walkthrough, Don. I'm gonna go meet up with Dan. He's gonna take me through the training center, and then we're gonna stop by Virtual Productions.
Awesome.
All right,
Appreciate it, Mike.
Dan, we're here at the Technical Institute. Kind of hoping that you could walk us through how the training program operates here, maybe shed a little bit of light on the past history of the program, where it started, why it started, and how we've gotten to where we are.
Absolutely.
So
right now we're in the lobby, right? So anytime we have a service school, owner school, whatever that looks like, everyone's going to check in here. They'll get a little baggie of goodies or whatever, and their schedule. And then just over 12 years ago, started off in South Bend at our old, where our care center is at now. And all sort of sprung off of Schwintech, that famous name. And then from there, we had people calling in, wondering how to fix Schwintech, how to work on Schwintech, and all that good stuff. And then from there, it's just blown up and expanded, and now we're in our new building that we've been in for over 5 years, that we've just been doing more and more trainings in nonstop.
Awesome. How many people typically come to a school?
We max out at about 120, so we do 20 people per class, and we typically sell out, and pretty much there's a waiting list for every one of our service schools. So about 120 is our max. Owner schools we do a little less, but for our service schools where we invite technicians from literally all over the world, they've come from 120.
And you guys do classroom settings and some hands-on settings, so why don't we go maybe take a look at how you guys break those down?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's head out that way.
Great.
So main schoolhouse, we've got a north portion of the building and a south portion, which we'll show you in a little bit. In our setup here, the goal is 70-30. So 70% hands-on, 30% sort of PowerPoint or instruction. Though how we manage that is putting little small tabletop mock-ups in front of people. So as we're instructing, as the instructor is talking about that product, the technician or whomever's in the class can get their hands on and monkey with, whether that's a meter or whatever that is.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we'll head into the room there.
Before we go in, how many classes are at the Institute? How many rooms do you have available to make the learning sessions separated?
Absolutely. So we have 3 dedicated classrooms over here, and then 2 mobile classrooms. So 1 here and then 1 back that way. And then in our south portion of the room, we have 2 more dedicated classrooms. We're actually adding a 3rd one. And we also have the ability over there to have mobile classrooms as well. So we have 6 dedicated classrooms, and we can add 2 to probably about 4 more beyond that.
Okay.
So this is sort of the basic setup that an attendee would have. These are those tabletop mock-ups I was talking about. So they have the PowerPoint, the book. They don't get to keep this book, but they do have the opportunity before they come to school to print off any of this stuff here.
So they have access to all the resources you guys are going to share.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah. So they can gain access to those things through our LMS, and then they also, all the stuff we are teaching them is available, wiring diagrams, pictures of the product, that kind of stuff. All of that's available on our website as well. These all plug into the outlets here in the wall. They're all 12 volt. We use Furrion, which obviously you know is a Lippert company. They have a 12 volt converter. So we'll take the 110 and convert it right to 12 volts. So we're using Lippert product to help teach Lippert product, right? Awesome. And then what we do is we talk about how the dual polarity solenoid works, how that signal's coming from your controller to the dual polarity solenoid. They can take the meters. The technicians bring their own tools, which is fine, but we do supply tools that they can rent, so they don't have to carry those things on a plane or whatever with them. But they can actually go through and see when that signal is leaving the controller, when it should be getting to that solenoid. And then what the idea is, once we're done with the classroom portion, they can go out to those stations with minimal help from the instructor and work their way through the different issues that we've built into the different scenarios.
That's really great. I love that you guys do like a classroom setting that's not just talking. You actually have some station mock-up settings at the desk, teaching them like the main touch points that they want to learn about on that given product, but then you're going to send them out into the real world to customer states scenario.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
So that's great.
The other nice thing about it is, because you have 20 technicians in a class, we try to pair it up so it's by their experience, but they get to kind of bounce ideas and things they've seen in the field on products that they're going to be working on out here, so they can help each other reinforce, hey, you got to troubleshoot it this way, or always check your ground, which is a huge thing. Always check your main power source going in. So they also get to utilize the other people's attending experience to help accelerate their learning as well.
And I'm sure what you guys probably find too is, though this class, for instance, is Titan hydraulic leveling, we're not the only manufacturers of hydraulic leveling, so I'm sure the theories probably are similar, right?
Absolutely. You even get some cases where the theory of the leveling system is so similar where people start to confuse it with the other systems, which is great because then you get the opportunity to go, okay, sounds like you're talking about X system, whatever that system might be. We obviously want to stay focused on what we're talking about, but it's good that you pointed that out because now you know that these two systems aren't identical. What I don't want you to do is take how I'm telling you to troubleshoot the Titan system and troubleshoot somebody else's system, because then you're going down a rabbit hole and now you're backwards and it's all types of problems, right?
No, that's great. That's great. Well, let's take a look at some of the mock-ups that you guys do out in the shop.
Absolutely. Some of the other stuff we have going on out here, heavy focus on Furrion. Let's just, actually, this is something new we just started, not the training. We've been doing water heaters, ACs, some of these different classroom mock-ups that you see, furnaces over there. The idea in here is, especially with the water heaters, is they're not powered up. There's no plumbing going to this particular setup.
Right.
We do show them how to troubleshoot the ACs and furnaces, a new class. It's a new product offering from Lippert. But that'll be set up, troubleshooting, hands-on, all that good stuff as well. But one thing we do want to focus on with the water heaters is talking about all these parts and pieces and how they come together. So when they do get out to the stations, they can troubleshoot those a little faster. So what we've implemented now is we have cameras. We can plug these cameras in. The instructor can rotate this around, talk about the flow sensor. It can be up on the screen, so they're seeing it.
Right.
Yeah. So perfect. My instructor doesn't have to pick this up and go, you see this?
Yeah.
He gets the camera, you can zoom in, he can move this, but they get a better visual up on that screen when he's talking, or she, rather than just, here guys, can you see this tiny little wire that I'm talking about way back in there? We can move and manipulate things a little better.
Yeah, so, that's a really great way to do it.
But over here, we have both Girard and Furrion, which are Lippert products. Every one of the attendees is handed this scenario sheet. This one's specific for water heaters.
Yeah.
And they'll actually go through, there's 10 stations, 5 Furrion, 5 Girard. They'll go through and they'll troubleshoot each station, making sure there's no leaks, it's got propane flow to it, the water rate flow is correct, and then verifying like the control, the ECOs are okay, but down the line, there's different scenarios for each one of them. But that's what they do. They walk through and they have to troubleshoot. Once they're done, they rotate to the next one, to the next one, to the next one, to the next one.
So coming out of the classroom setting, they've been taught about the parts, the pieces, how maybe various steps operate in the sequence of a water heater functioning. And then maybe some little bit of hands-on in the class setting. And then they come out here to the customer state scenario, as we said earlier. And now they're presented with, the customer says, my water heater is dripping water out of a certain area. And they have to walk through what they just learned to solve that customer's issue. And can it be repaired, right? And do we have the parts to repair it? Or do we need to replace it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? When people come here for their week of training, you guys feed those folks. You keep them on campus so that they can stay focused on their learning.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? So in the cafeteria here, again, this is kind of where we max out at 120. We've had events where it's a little bit larger than 120. But yeah, we'll feed them breakfast and lunch every day.
Do you have technicians coming here taking possibly the same course again as like maybe a refresher, but they're also saying, hey, you guys are staying up to date on your courses, something new may be changed in the product, and you guys are informing us of that. So like they're learning something new almost every time they come, even if they're taking what would be the same class.
Absolutely, yeah. Or wonderful. Like for Schwintech, we revamped that entire class. So we used to have 5 separate stations that you'd have to roll through, but now it's you go to one station and your group, because we usually pair them up about 3 technicians per station, but your group is at that box the entire time. Oh,
so you're going through all the different scenarios at that one mock-up instead of the potential of a bottleneck.
Correct, right. Yeah, and that's what we ran into. There was one specific station where they pulled the mechanism and had to put it back in, and for some people,
experience level,
or they wanted to take their time. Even experience level, maybe they were, you know what, I haven't really ever had the chance to really dive in and take this apart slow, because time is money, right? So here they get the opportunity to take their time if they so choose.
Yeah, you encourage it. So experience level, high, low, whatever, you're work at the pace that's comfortable for you, so you're getting the best learning experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So we wanted to revamp that so that your group, if you want to take an hour, barring we have the hour for you to take, if you want to take an hour at your station, take the hour. Don't feel rushed because you didn't get to station 4. You are on station 4 essentially, because once you get past 3, your same box is the next station.
Gotcha.
You are getting what you want out of it. And if you've done it before, then you can step back and one of the other people in your group can step up to do the next thing. In those service schools, we do sometimes have like warranty or parts folks that kind of tag along. So maybe the troubleshooting side isn't for them, but they really want to take the notes because...
And they want to learn about the parts and the pieces and the...
Right, so they really want to focus
they might be on the parts side.
Yeah.
Right,
So,
not necessarily on the wrench turning side. They work the service desk. They're talking to the customer. They're writing down the customer states scenario, but then they're also taking back information from technicians saying, we need a motor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, we need a...
Yep, so that way while the technician's going through the troubleshooting, the service writer or the parts person, who might also be in attendance, is stepping back, taking all the notes on their worksheet that they're working on, but really, like you mentioned, hammering in on, well, why are we doing the motor? And now, while that parts person may never want to be a technician, but now when that customer comes in, they can go, okay, did you notice any flashing lights? Did you do this? Did it work when you did this? And they might be able to ask some follow-up questions that goes, where that parts person go, okay, I don't think that's what it is. I'll have my technician look at it, but it sounds like more like it's a motor and not a controller, or more like a harness and not a controller.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, going back to that repeat customer for the wrong item.
Yep.
So trying to avoid that.
I mean, speaking on behalf of the virtual productions team, I know that we work very closely with you guys to make sure what we're making is following what you guys are teaching and training.
Yeah.
So I know that that's super important. And I know that we've got a few other items from the training side to see in what we call our south building.
Yeah.
So why don't we head over there?
Perfect.
And then we can move into virtual productions, and you and I can kind of switch roles here, and
Awesome.
you can ask me about virtual productions. We'll walk through that.
Awesome.
Awesome. All right, so Dan, we're over here at what we call the south building. And you've got some different product offerings over here, as well as a couple of classrooms, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Over here in the south building, we have our electric leveling, awnings, all of our axle stuff back there. We have our marine section, and then our residential section all the way in the back. So we do our best to keep the products in one location, just because it helps with scheduling and keeping track of where everything's at. Sometimes we move them. So sometimes we'll move a ground control 3 frame or one of our ground control TT frames up. But yeah, the south building is primarily where we house that first list of products that I told you. Forest River hosts their service schools here, and then they'll not only do our classes, but Dometic comes to those. They'll do basic electric classes for those, propane classes for those. They'll have their own people come in and do roof classes for those. So we've had other vendors in here. BAL's been in here. So
yeah, so they could be competitors. Yeah, they could be competitors. They could be people maybe we partner with on products we don't manufacture, but we welcome them into this facility because we have one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? We have the ability to host a training school where maybe other competing brands don't have this opportunity. So
yeah, absolutely.
We welcome them in.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So.
Well, why don't you talked about Furrion refrigerators.
Yeah.
And I know that we have a really cool setup, or we have a lot of
yes, we
refrigerators
have a large
to look
offering
at.
for
Yeah,
our
large
refrigerators. Yes.
Refrigerators. Why don't we take a look at those?
This is where we have all of our refrigerators. And I will tell you right now, this is not all of them.
I've heard. So I've heard.
Yeah, we have more out on our mezzanine there. These are some of our top reefers. Those top warranty concerns that we talked about earlier, following that same path here. Some of the other products up here are what we call the Sara Lee kitchen. It is a fully functioning kitchen on wheels. We can hook propane up to it. We can turn on the stoves. We can go through troubleshooting, but some of those other parts and pieces up here that not only are you going to deal with your Furrion refrigerator, but you might have a Furrion stove, range, cooktop, microwave.
Yep.
So we can show, in a sense, how those are all tied together and what you might be looking at or dealing with. In a nutshell, walking through the entire building, at least on the service school side of things, that kind of stuff. The in-person training is our goal if there's a Lippert product, you can almost guarantee there's a Lippert class, and our goal is to get you as much hands-on with it as you can. Every one of my instructors is capable of teaching pretty much any Lippert product.
Well, I can tell you just from my experience and time at Lippert, seeing this group come from basically very humble beginnings of a couple people to a full-fledged school with classrooms. It's you guys are making a huge impact. So job well done. And I say now we go look at this virtual productions team, and
Absolutely.
we can switch roles here. You can ask me some questions.
Heck yeah.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Yeah, so virtual productions was started out of necessity. You know, the whole word that we all really have come to dislike the most here is COVID. And so we went from a team of individuals that were face-to-face interacting in person with dealer service technicians, mobile service technicians. And so we had to come up with a solution on how we could still drive that training out to those people as they needed it, because they were still working, they were still doing repairs and out there in the world trying to do their jobs. So we had to come up with a solution that made sense for them. So virtual productions was started, and really the focus is to provide videos on how to perform these various repairs, replace products, maintain them.
Those videos aren't just those webinars that I alluded to earlier, right? What other types of videos are you guys doing over here?
Yeah, so we have a YouTube channel. The Lippert core YouTube channel is where we house videos that focus more on part replacement, maintenance, proper use, general operation. And then we've now just started the Lippert Technical Institute channel, where we focus more on helping that end consumer and the broad RV network of people involved in the RV industry understand better, like how to operate products, maybe how to kick the tire before a trip, keep them on the road and camping instead of in the shop for what we would consider to be an unnecessary repair and downtime.
Awesome. So when you guys are filming, how do you set up your films? Like, are you doing it on, where are you doing it at?
Yeah, so we can walk through a little bit here. So we've got a few different scenarios that we've set up. So we actually have a unit here that we've been doing some various repair videos and aftermarket upgrade videos on, which is really exciting. This unit, for instance, has had several roof repairs performed to show different products that we offer in roof repair.
Now you guys did all of those roof repairs?
Yep.
Okay, all right,
Yep,
just wanted to...
Yep, we do all the repairs here. We film that process so that it's a very in-depth instruction-based video that shows you how maybe not scary it is to do a roof repair. I think there's a lot of customers out there that would love to perform and do more repairs on various products on their RVs, but they're a little shy,
Sure.
right, to pull the trigger. And I know that I've done personally a lot of repairs on automobiles and various parts in my house, thanks to the world of YouTube and videos that people have created showing me that it's not as scary as it may look, right? So again, this unit's been a really good example of how that's possible. So we've done fan replacements on this. We've actually changed out the AC. This has got a full furnace redo on it. So just a lot of good content's been produced off this one unit. And again, hoping to help customers make really good decisions on either a repair process that they're interested in doing, or maybe even an upgrade opportunity that exists.
I have a question. I know my team builds everything that we can over in the North Building, and I know your team's not shy to do that either. Can you explain to me this tower of orange?
Yes, absolutely. So again, out of necessity, doing roof repair videos, you're gonna have to shoot from higher angles. You're gonna have one of our instructors is going to be on top of the roof performing the repair. So, you know, safety is number one for our team. They're handling, first off, expensive camera equipment, and then as well as, you know, our bodies themselves. We want to keep ourselves safe. So our instructors are harnessed in on top of the unit, and then we wanted to make sure that our camera crew, as they're operating the cameras, are in an environment where they're guarded and safe. So this was created by our team using various Lippert parts and pieces that worked perfect for what we have. So we have some Happy Jack truck camper jacks. We have some JT Strong arms. We've got some solid steps and all these pieced together have helped us to create basically a mezzanine that we can raise and lower very safely and protect our team while they're doing their thing. So
I love it. It's genius.
Yeah, thank you.
What else are you utilizing to help shoot those videos?
Well, so I mean, obviously we've got our various pieces of camera equipment that we use. So we've got 3 cameras right now that we're using for various shoots, so we can get multiple angles. We have a really nice teleprompting system that we use because there's a lot of information that these instructors are required to understand and feedback through the camera, and that's a really tough job. So having a nice teleprompter system for them to make sure they're hitting those very important key points that we want to deliver to our customers out there is very important. We also have some interactive displays so that our instructors can be talking about a piece, but if they want to talk about the inside of that piece, it's really hard to display. So they can go to our interactive displays and they can actually, using like a 3D model, they can spin that model. They can X-ray through the inside and look at what that part is, maybe that they're trying to describe with their hands. That's not very helpful. So the interactive displays really bring that to life. And
you have folks on your team that actually make some of those models as well, right? That's not all just supplied to us. That's stuff that your folks put together.
It's a great question. So I mean, that's there's a strong partnership, like we talked about, within the Institute. So you guys doing the training, our Tech Pubs team is drawing a lot of models every day to use in those manuals. So when you open up a Lippert manual, paper manual, or online PDF or whatever it may be, you'll notice that there's a lot of very photorealistic images that have been created. Those are very usually not photos, they are renders that were made by the Tech Pubs team. We're able to share those same renders, those models, and turn them into something more interactive, and we can actually even use them in our animations.
That's awesome.
So yeah, our team is pretty agile when it comes to the different media that we can serve to people through video.
Awesome.
So
anything else cool in here you want to show me?
This is our newest studio area. We should definitely highlight this. And right now, actually, just kind of perfectly, we're working on our most recent webinar that should be released here soon, which is our Furrion Furnace webinar.
Nice.
So we've shot, again, a video on how to aftermarket upgrade the Furrion Furnace, which is really exciting. But now we really want to be able to make sure that we're covering that support side that we talk so much about and have a webinar that focuses on teaching a service technician what happens if, right? And what parts are available. So the furnace is all broken down here into some various parts that our on-screen instructors will go through in great detail and explain, if you're having this issue, start here, move along this path. So again, kind of showing all the various pieces that we use, right? The interactive displays we talked about. Over here, obviously we have a fridge because we were shooting some videos on, specific hard reset procedures, to, again, keep people out of repair centers and try to keep them focused on like what the easiest thing to do is to solve their issue.
I always enjoy coming over here and seeing the new stuff because you guys are always putting something up and changing. So it's always
just like you guys, where it looks, the whole idea of our area is to be functional for what we want to do, but it's very innovative.
Yes.
Like we're using a lot of products that were intended for this, but we're using it for something else, which I think is what's special about the Institute in general. So.
It's fun because obviously work for a company that makes so much, and then having the people on your team that are creative to go, I know how I can use that in an unintended way that you should probably not otherwise, but it works for what we need.
You'll see a lot of that throughout the Institute, which is really special.
So this has been super fun, as always. Thanks for walking through our area earlier, Mike.
Great.
Excellent.